Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Whitehaven and Polk State Center supporters rallied at the state capitol yesterday and released plans for filing a federal lawsuit to keep them open and residents protected. Our Julie Stefanovich has more.
We are seeking the preservation of our loved ones' lives.
Family members and friends of residents at the Whitehaven and Polk Centers were joined by officials at a rally in Harrisburg yesterday in the fight to keep the centers open. Governor Tom Wolf announced his plans to close the centers last August, and now stakeholders are taking legal action against him. State Representative Tara Toohill of the 116th District, which includes Whitehaven, spoke at yesterday's rally at the Capitol building.
I'm very glad to be here today with all of you to stand in support of this legal avenue that is being taken. And I just want to thank the staff of the health committees and the human services committees. They have worked extremely hard.
Attorney Thomas York plans to represent residents by filing a federal lawsuit by the end of this week. The class action suit will claim that the state is violating their civil rights by closing down their homes.
Today marks the filing of a lawsuit that is going to argue the constitutional rights to have a choice between whether you're in an ICF, like Whitehaven Center and like Polk Center, or if everyone will be mandated that they are going to close the centers and that you would have to be in community care, which is small residences, usually with 4 individuals in them.
The centers house around 300 people with disabilities, and the state wants to move the residents away from institutionalized care and have them move to community settings.
The safety net of a state center will outlast a family after family members pass away. We know that there's longevity in these state centers. They also have trained professionals that have a lifetime in that profession. That's their career. And so we want to make sure that we're having high quality care and that family members are cared for long after we're gone.
State lawmakers are also working on a bill to keep the centers open. Representative Lee James put out an amendment to the bill that would prevent the state from closing the centers for 5 years and create a task force that would have to vote on closing a center. Around 13,000 individuals are on a waiting list to receive services.
Right now, residents are being forced to decide, and they're being pushed to go into community care, and people that are out there are requesting that their family members get to go to Whitehaven Center, and Department of Human Services is not allowing that. They're not entertaining that, and they've basically shut the doors on admissions for many years now.
The lawsuit lists 16 plaintiffs, and the defendants include the governor and the secretary of the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thanks, Julie. Hazleton City Council meets tonight to focus on 2020's budget before filling seats on local authority boards. Council President Jim Perry said Monday appointments to both the Hazleton City Authority and Greater Hazleton Joint Sewer Authority will sit back on discussions about reopening the budget to include funds to increase code enforcement personnel. Council has discussed possibly increasing taxes beyond the 2.5% hike the previous council levied for 2020. The increase would raise enough money to hire 2 code enforcement officers Perry pushed for late last year. If council votes to hire more code officers, Mayor Jeff Gassat said he'd like one of those positions to handle responsibilities of a health officer and have the other address animal complaints. City Council meets tonight at 7, and we'll have the recap for you tomorrow night right here at 5:30. The State Superior Court decided to uphold the conviction of a man who was found guilty of trying to shoot law enforcement officers during a standoff outside of a Walmart supercenter back in 2015. 35-year-old Scott Sargent, formerly of Shenandoah, was convicted on multiple counts of attempting to murder the 5 officers who responded to the Walmart parking lot October 17th of 2015. Sargent was eventually shot in the abdomen by a retired officer, which ended the 15-minute-long standoff. He was convicted by a Luzerne County jury and sentenced to serve 179 to 358 years in prison. Sargent then filed an appeal, claiming his trial lawyers were ineffective. The Superior Court recently decided to uphold Sargent's sentence, but stated he could file a Post-Conviction Relief Act petition in Luzerne County Court. Human remains were found Monday afternoon in a wooded area near North Township Boulevard in Pittston Township. Authorities say the remains were deteriorated and that they may have been at the location for an extended period of time. The Luzerne County Coroner's Office has not yet identified those remains, but area law enforcement and the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office are currently investigating the situation and are working to identify those remains found in Pittston Township. An investigation led to a Summit Hill man being charged with 50 felony counts of child pornography. A Tamaqua transfer employee allegedly found 2 discarded cell phones containing child pornography during a trash collection last October in Coaldale. Following the investigation, 30-year-old Michael Yingling was charged with child pornography and criminal use of a communication facility. He was arraigned with bail set at 10% of $50,000. He posted it last Thursday through a bail bondsman. A Dallas woman was killed and her granddaughter was taken to an area hospital following a Tuesday morning crash in the back mountain. According to reports, 45-year-old Heather Stoss crashed into the back of a Dallas Area Municipal Authority garbage truck. The truck was pulled over to the side of the road with its lights flashing when the accident occurred on Gypsy Lane shortly before 10:30 a.m. Stoss was pronounced dead at the scene, and her 3-year-old granddaughter was transported to Geisinger Wyoming Valley Medical Center in Plains Township for treatment. Neither drugs nor alcohol were believed to be involved in the cause of yesterday's accident, and the autopsy on Stoss is pending. At this time, there's no word on the child's condition. Coming up on Wyln News, one local school district still needs a solid security plan, plus details on a massive nationwide airbag recall. But first, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy at a high of 36 and a low of 18. Looks decent tomorrow, but plan for some precipitation this weekend. We'll be right back.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
CARES is a local and family-owned agency dedicated to providing exceptional services for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities throughout Pennsylvania. CARES specializes in day and residential services, respite, home and community, behavior supports, and chaperone vacations. At CARES, the participants are the VIPs. CARES, empowering individuals to maximize their opportunities and potential in their community.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Who knew that lead was still a concern in the year 2020? Heather Ofak is going to be joining us on Talkin' in EPA, and she's going to tell us about lead and children and AmeriHealth Caritas. I'm Paula Degnan. Join us here on WYLN TV.
One full-time corrections officer is out of a job after the Schuylkill County Prison Board voted to fire her last week. After January 15th's executive session, board members fired Patricia Panzarella and voted to hire part-time officer Courtney Fry as a replacement. No reason was given at this time for the decision. Recent promotions and recommendations have brought the number of full-time officers to the full complement of 45. However, the prison is left with 5 part-time officers, 10 short of the full complement of 15, but will continue seeking applicants. Several questions still surround security at Tamaqua Area School District after controversial Policy 705 was implemented, then rescinded. That policy, implemented September of 2018 and rescinded July of 2019, would allow teachers and staff to be armed on school grounds. Now, the school board continues to try and move forward in its quest to figure an alternative, district-wide safety policy. The board has been meeting with a safety commission for months and hope to have an idea of a more solid security plan at the next work session next month. One lone parent showed at Tuesday night's meeting. The next security committee meeting is scheduled for February 11th at 7 p.m. Roughly 41.6 million vehicles equipped with 56 million defective Takata airbags are being recalled across the globe. When deployed, these airbags can explode, causing serious injury or even death. Honda is recalling 2.4 million older vehicles in the U.S. to replace potentially dangerous Takata airbag inflators. The recall covers certain Honda and Acura vehicles from 1996 to 2003 model years. The company said replacement parts aren't available yet, which push off repairs for about a year. Other Takata airbags contained ammonium nitrate, which causes a small explosion to inflate airbags. Long-term exposure to high temperatures and humidity can deteriorate the chemical, which could blow apart a metal canister that would shoot fragments. Takata, now bankrupt, is recalling 10 million more front inflators sold to 14 different automakers, which are listed up on your screen right now. Any further information can be found by visiting nhtsa.gov/recalls. 5 furry felines escaped a fire at their home earlier this week, but got lost away from the scene. Now, their owners are asking for the public's help in getting them back home. The fire happened Monday, January 20th in the area of 3rd Street between Lincoln and Boundary Streets. If anyone sees these cats in their neighborhood, they're being asked to call Jen at 570-497-7404 or Chris at 570-582-4905. You can also contact the Hazleton Animal Shelter to help with the cat's reunion with their family. Coming up on Highlands News Choice, we talk lung screenings on this Wellness Wednesday in Community and You, plus heated highlights from last night's basketball game. Stay with us.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton, everything to make your house a home.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Have your event with Whitetail, graduation, birthday, bachelor, reunion parties? They have the most tranquil backyard experience with beautiful mountains in the background. If your company or business wants a different alternative to a golf outing, they have outings that can accommodate you. You can have the entire facility to yourself. They will work with you to set up your day of events. Sporting clay competitions, trap and wobble trap games, skeet. After a day of shooting, you'll return to a meal designed for you. Call Mike at 570-535-6123 for available group options.
Wyln has strong ties to the community and it's committed to important causes like the American Cancer Society and Helping Hand Society telethons. Wyln's commitment to Pennsylvania continues with the broadcast of Hazleton's Fun Fest Parade and the Christmas and St. Patrick's Day parades in Wilkes-Barre. In the summer, we broadcast the Weatherly and Giants Despair Hill Climb. And throughout the year, we provide important community services through the broadcast of town meetings, school board meetings, election night coverage, and other community events. Wyln, we're your local network.
Welcome to Community and You here on WYLN. And if you haven't checked a calendar, it is Wednesday, which means it's Wellness Wednesday, thanks to our friends over at Lehigh Valley Health Network. And today we are on location at the Cancer Center on the Airport Beltway. And with us today we have Dr. Harvey Hochner, who is not only a hematologist here, but he's also a medical oncologist with Lehigh Valley Health Network. And we will be talking lung screenings. So, Dr. Hochner, who qualifies for a lung screening?
So the criteria are, number one, we base it on how many cigarettes you smoke, i.e. we do it's called a number of pack years. So number of cigarettes you smoke per day times the number of years. And if you're greater than 30 years, you're qualified. Also age, you have to be between 55 and 75, and you have to have no previous abnormalities on your chest X-ray or CAT scan. Also, if you were a previous smoker, if it occurred with less than 15 years, you also can qualify for a screening CAT scan.
Now, if someone believes that they may qualify for a lung screening, how should they go about getting one, scheduling one, figuring out if they do need one or not?
It's two ways. If your doctor's part of Lehigh Valley, it's already set in our computer system. If your doctor is not, there's a form that they can fill out, which will be faxed over to our office. We have people that will do the insurance verification and set up the screening CAT scan.
Now, I know we want to really reiterate the importance of getting lung screenings. You know, what's either one or a few reasons of, why they are so important to be getting?
Well, we know there's about 200,000 new lung cancers a year, and there was a study done in the early 2000s that showed that when you compare what they call a screening CAT scan versus a plain chest X-ray, that you decrease the mortality of disease about 20%. Before we could never do that. So the earlier you find lung cancer, the better the cure rate is.
Of course, and with this colder weather, it's obviously a little harsher on the lungs as well.
Well, you always want to do it, and then based on the studies, if it's negative, you would always want to. They repeat it every year.
So it is important to get screenings yearly if you do qualify, then, correct?
Right. Yeah. The study showed that you need to continually do it once a year because you get disease later on pictures.
Best to avoid that as early as possible, then. Right. Now, once somebody qualifies for a lung screening, how should they go about scheduling it? What's the process? What's it entail?
Well, I mean, like I said, if the patient is part of the Lehigh Valley Network, it's built into our computer system for the form. If not, they can get a form from our office, which they fill out and sent over here. We have people that will verify that the patient insurance that they qualify, and then the CAT scan will be scheduled at the Wellness Center.
So is it just a CAT scan that they have to go through? Because I know people might be thinking it's a little scary once they're told that they qualify for a lung screening.
No, this CAT scan is different than regular CAT scan. It's what we call a low-dose CAT scan. The amount of radiation and the time is probably only a few minutes. And then if it is positive, then we have something called a multiple specialty conference where the cases are presented and they decide what the next step will be taken.
And like you said earlier, to reiterate that fact, you guys do the lung screenings through your office to schedule them over at the Health and Wellness Center?
Correct. Right. Somebody has to verify the insurance and make sure they meet the criteria that they meet the screening criteria, i.e. their age, number of cigarettes they smoked, and previous smoking history.
All right. Is there anything else that you want to reiterate with the audience, about lung screenings, their importance, or any steps that...
Well, part of the screening is the smoking cessation. That's the number one cause for lung cancer, and that probably is the number one thing that you could do to prevent lung cancer.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us today, Dr. Hochner.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us on this Wellness Wednesday in Community and You. Remember, if you are concerned that you may or may not need a screening, just get checked out. It's a lot safer to get checked out and make sure that you do or do not than to be sorry later. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
Your exciting new TV experience is here. Smarter, faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps, all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
Stop in at Two Italian Guys Pizzeria for the best pizza in town, serving a large variety of pizza, stromboli, and so much more. Open till 3 a.m. Take out or eat in, delivery available. Call 570-459-2783.
Whitetail Preserve has an immediate opening for a chef. Please call 570-455-4251, extension 1378 for details.
Tune in every Sunday night on WYLN from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. for hard-hitting, high-flying, non-stop action as only Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling High Voltage can bring you. That's Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling every Sunday night on WYLN. I'll see you in the ring.
Our WYLN sports crew was in Mountaintop last night to bring you the Hazelton-Crestwood boys basketball matchup, and our Rhino Sachi has all the action-packed highlights.
The Hazelton area Cougars basketball team traveled up to Mountaintop to take on the Crestwood Comets. Coming into this rivalry game, Hazelton and Crestwood both were 5-1 in conference play. At the start of the game, both teams wasted no time racking up points. Crestwood took a quick 6-2 lead after 2 3-pointers by Comets' Paul Fiesel. But Hazelton quickly bounced back with points from Duan Concepcion and Andrew Vida. The quarter had constant back and forth baskets from each team, ending with a 3-pointer by Scotty Campbell to tie the score at 18. The second quarter was almost identical as the back and forth action continued. Hazelton did have a slight edge in the second quarter thanks to Andrew Vida, who had 10 of his 17 points in the first half. Concepcion and Angel Cruz also contributed for the Cougars with a combined 13 points in the second quarter, as well as Kevin Gill, who had 5 quick points off the bench. Crestwood managed to always stay right on the heels of Hazelton though, as the score was 36-32 at halftime with Hazelton in the lead. But all the momentum shifted to Crestwood in the third quarter as the Comets would outscore Hazelton 14-4, making the score 46-40 at the end of the third quarter, giving Crestwood their largest lead of the night. Hazelton seniors Andrew Vida and Scotty Campbell took matters into their own hands in the fourth quarter, starting with a 3 from Campbell. Vida then added 6 points of his own on strong drives to the hoop. Vida finished the game with 17 points on the night. With 86 seconds left in the game, Scotty Campbell tied the score at 56 on a free throw. His second free throw may have been the biggest play of the game.
It remains Simon Campbell!
Great job, Scotty Campbell! Gets his own miss, goes back up with it.
Campbell, 10 of his 18 to lead all scorers here in the fourth.
After Campbell took the lead, Crestwood's Mike Zaleski drew a foul, giving him a 1-and-1 free throw opportunity. Zaleski's first shot was good. The second shot was missed and rebounded by Hazelton. It was all Campbell and Hazelton from that point on. The Comets were forced to keep fouling Campbell in order to give them the best shot to get the ball back to score. But that didn't happen, and Campbell hit every foul shot. Campbell scored 14 points in the fourth quarter and 22 on the game. Crestwood was not able to score in the final minute, giving Hazelton the win in this very exciting game with a final score of 62-57.
Campbell will dribble it out, and the Cougars come away with a fantastic 62-57 victory over Crestwood.
With that win, Hazelton improves to 6-1 in the conference and is tied for first place. Reporting for WYLN Sports, I'm Ryan Osachi.
Thanks, Ryan. Exciting game. A fundraiser is happening at the end of the month to benefit a popular summer destination in Berwick. Pizza, Pints, and Pinot will take place Saturday, January 25th for the Burvon Pool in Berwick. The event kicks off at 5 p.m. at the Maria Sunta at 901 Monroe Street in the borough. It features beer, wine, and pizza tastings, along with entertainment provided by the Bennett Brothers. Tickets are $10, and all proceeds benefit the Burvon Pool. You can call 570-764-3697 or 570-204-3325 for more information. The American Cancer Society Telethon is scheduled for Saturday, February 22nd to help raise funds in the fight against cancer. One feature at this year's telethon is Card Bingo. Doors for bingo open at noon, with the fun set to begin at 1. There will be 20 regular games and 3 specials, and you can purchase your tickets ahead of time. Tickets are $25 day of, or you can purchase them in advance by calling Janine at 570-436-5736. And don't forget, the 42nd Annual ACS Telethon will be broadcast from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, February 22nd, right here on Wyln TV. You can also stop in person at the Premier Catering and Events at Genetti's Ballroom in Hazel Township to help win the ongoing battle against cancer. And that's the news. Remember, you can get news updates on our Wyln News Facebook page. If you'd like to see an event promoted on our newscast, visit WYLNTV.com to submit a request form. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next here on Wyln TV.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown the Hometown Village Square.
There are 125 used car dealers in town, but there's only one Churras. Quality vehicles since 1954. Voted the best used car dealer. Check out their inventory, see something you like, take a test ride. Churras Auto Sales. Call 570-454-7229.
Have your event with Whitetail, graduation, birthday, bachelor, reunion parties? They have the most tranquil backyard experience with beautiful mountains in the background. If your company or business wants a different alternative to a golf outing, they have outings that can accommodate you. You can have the entire facility to yourself. They will work with you to set up your day of events. Sporting clay competitions, trap and wobble trap games, skeet. After a day of shooting, you'll return to a meal designed for you. Call Mike at 570-535-6123 for available group options.